All right, so I'm going to play the Spotify list that I sent in the email today, just to have some music in the background. It kind of helps quiet my mind. And as we've been doing this week, donations from this week's classes are going to Up Against the Law. It's a legal collective that's rooted in Philadelphia, and they're doing a lot of helpful work with helping people and communities know their rights. They're helping protesters with their important work and making sure that they're being treated with more justice. And they're a wonderful organization that I'd like to support to do the work that I wouldn't be able to do, for instance, with my lack of law degree and other things. So welcome to our Vinyasa flow class. Just maybe keep in the back of your mind that maybe your body starts getting used to the flow. A lot of this will look familiar if you've been in class with me before, and see if that can create some freedom in your mind, or freedom to explore where your mind goes when your body's kind of doing what it's doing. All right, here we go. So I'm playing the music now. If you'd like to join me, I'm just gonna close the door here. That was the cat's last chance to come back in, but they'll have to wait till after class. All right. So let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat. Let's just start on the ground, connected to the earth. Maybe your eyes gently close, or at least your eyelashes can relax and you look towards the ground. Taking that first deep, intentional breath of practice. And release. Start to bring your awareness to where you are connected with the earth. Do you feel your sits bones connecting either with the floor or the chair? Perhaps the sides of your feet or the soles of your feet? Sometimes we start our practice lying down. Maybe you are lying down. You feel your upper back connecting with the earth. And now we can bring our awareness to that sternum, that area at the base of the ribs in the front body. Can we lift that sternum into the air? And in doing so, our posture becomes tall, our minds become more alert in this moment, and just breathe in this position. Maybe there are a lot of sounds, or there's a lot of activity around you in your personal space and the spaces around you, in our streets, in our communities. Can we take a moment as we breathe to listen to those sounds? We're not trying to find sounds that aren't there, but rather just let the sounds come to us. What do you hear? What do you notice? Not necessarily identifying the sounds, but noting them as they come. Maybe something outside, footsteps in the apartment upstairs. And let's gently bring our hands to prayer position in front of our hearts. Still sitting tall, a sense of concentration surrounding us. I invite you to bring an intention into class. And an intention can be anything from a goal for class. I just want to finish class, or I really want to, achieve something in any particular posture. Or it can be a dedication. If there's someone or something that you would like to dedicate this class to, or have your energies be sent towards. It could be a cause, that could be a belief, be a spiritual figure, or someone you know, and take some breaths. I apologize if you hear the lawnmower. That's my sound. Just one more breath just to really settle into our dedication or our intention for ourselves or for somebody else. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, you can release your hands and gently flutter open your eyelashes. All right, everybody, let's get our flow going. So we're going to carefully move onto our hands and knees. Right away, move into our cat and cow. Deep inhale to drop the belly, tailbone lifts, heart shines out and up. Gaze can be lifted or eyes can be closed. Exhale to press between those hands, sending the heart up between the shoulder blades, rounding the spine. Letting your inhale to stretch, belly drops, gaze lifts, stretching the skin of the front body. And exhale to press it all away, creating space underneath you. Excellent. And now here, I invite you to just move in your own breath and play around with your space. You might want to send those hips side to side. I find that very soothing. Make little figure eights with your body and whatever imagery that comes to mind, however your body can dance side to side, back and front. You can send your hips way back. Just take a couple minutes playing around, bringing movement into those joints and into that spine. All the while being led gently by the breath. Excellent. And when you're ready, come on back to our neutral spine. We're going to inhale, send our hips to the right, look over our right shoulder, creating a little crescent in our right body. And exhale, coming back to neutral. Inhale, sending the hips and gaze to the left. And exhale, coming back to center. Repeat that in your own breath. Inhale, right, hips to the right, gaze to the right. And on your next inhale, reverse it to the left. Do one more on either side. Really playing into the range of our hips and upper body. And then come back to a neutral spine. We're gonna step our hands forward about a palm print, tucking those toes behind us, sending those hips into the air, keeping a nice bend in your knees. Relaxing your neck. Can we walk our feet out, walk the dog a little bit, nice and deliberate. Really feeling the stretch and release with each step. And maybe we bend both knees nice and deep and send that tailbone high in the sky. And then begin to straighten our knees ever so slightly. Maybe they become straight, maybe they don't. Looking at our palms, are all 10 knuckles pressed firmly into the mat. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, walk those feet carefully towards your hands. Release those hands and hold on to opposite elbows and gently swing side to side with a bend in your knees. Maybe you can shake your head yes and no to make sure that that head is fully released. The neck is not doing any extra work. Can we increase the range? If we go side to side, can we go a little further on either side? And release back into center, deep bend in your knees. Inhale, reach those hands out and up, up, up. Palms come together overhead. And exhale, send them past your heart. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Palms come together and slice the air right in front of you. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Inhale, bend your knees, plant those hands on the ground, step your right foot back and your left foot back into a high plank or a low plank. Inhale, sending your heart forward, elbows tucked in, trying your best to stay flat as you kind of reverse push up onto the ground, untucking those toes, pulling those palms back just to meet your rib cage, baby cobra. In baby, we're not trying to reach the ceiling, we're just trying to get nice alignment and engage the rounding of the spine or the curvature of the spine. And exhale, release the forehead. Inhale, move back through tabletop, tucking those toes, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. And release. Deep inhale here. And release. Final inhale. Release. Step or hop those feet towards your hands. And if you're hopping, give yourself a little momentum. You've got a frog jump, so get those knees up. More or less. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach those arms up. As we finish this salutation, palms come together. Exhale, hands come to heart. Maybe eyes closed for just a moment. Eyes flicker open as we reach our hands out and up. Inhale, tall spine, long body. Exhale, leading with that heart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Length from the tailbone through the spine, through the crown of your head. Exhale, release. Inhale, flatten those palms. Step your right foot back, left foot back. Inhale, sending that heart forward, elbows tucked in. Exhale, lower down to the ground as best as we can. Any attempt is a great attempt. Inhale to pull those palms back slightly, maybe baby cobra, maybe slightly higher. Exhale, forehead to the ground. Inhale to tabletop. And exhale, just send it back into a child's pose. Let's take a rest. You can rock slightly side to side, or you can stay still. Inhale, come on back to tabletop. Stepping those hands a palm print or so forward. Tucking those toes, sending the hips up in the air. Now just to check alignment, let's come down into a high plank. If you can come down without having to adjust so your hands are underneath your shoulders, your downward dog is where it needs to be. If you needed to adjust, get into a high plank where your palms are under your shoulders and then move back into downward dog. Ugh. And that is a more accurate downward dog for the shapes and the dimensions of your body and the length of your limbs. Inhale, your right foot lifts to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Two more, just like that. Inhale, heel to the sky. Exhale, send it forward, arching your back like a cow position, or cat position, excuse me. Final one, inhale, heel up. And on the exhale, you're gonna send it right through in between those hands, lowering your back leg. Using your thigh to get yourself nice and tall. Your back toes can be curled or untucked, whatever's more stabilizing. Feel your hips squaring. Front hip moves back hip moves front. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, palms meet. Exhale, in a gentle back bend. You're just opening your shoulders, really. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale. Palms come past your heart, twisting to the right, hooking that left elbow on the outside of that right knee. Lovely twist. Option, light up the sky. Unbind or unwind. Hands come back to prayer. Coming on back to center. Pressing those palms against the floor, lifting the back leg, stepping the right leg to meet your left. Knees can come down or they can stay up. Inhale, shift your heart forward. Lowering down to the floor, chaturanga. Untucking the feet, cobra, maybe even upward dog where your knees lift off and your elbows are straight. You can look to the right, look to the left, and then move on back into that downward facing dog. Take a breath of rest here. Whew. Inhale, lifting the left heel to the sky. Exhale, sending that left knee to your nose. Again, inhale, heel to sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Final time before we step through. Inhale, heel to sky. Exhale, getting some space, knee as high as you can. Stepping it through, could take 1 step, could take 5 steps. Dropping that back knee. Using your thigh to support your lift. And breathe. Isometrically pulling your hips towards each other so they're more square. Inhale those arms out and up. Palms come together and down into prayer. Now we're going to do our little back bend in prayer this time. Inhale, just send those shoulders down and back, gaze lifts. Exhale to come up. I'm going to just rotate. You stay exactly as you are. Inhale, twisting to that left leg. Right elbow connects on the outside of that left knee. Perhaps we stay here, sending energy out through the crown, not drooping like a humid flower petal. All my plants are drooping. Maybe we want to light up the sky. Maybe we want to drop that top hand behind our back. Unbind, hands come back through prayer, untwisting your body. Palms plant on either side of your feet, lifting your back knee, sending your left leg out to meet your right. Inhale, sending your heart forward. Exhale to lower down, chaturanga. Untuck those toes. Cobra or upward dog. And come on back down. Moving through tabletop or plank. We're going to send our hips back up. Inhale for rest. Exhale, release. Very great work. Inhale, sending that right heel in the air. Let's flow. Exhale, step it right through. Inhale, knee can drop or stay up. Inhale, lifting up, arms come up. On that same inhale, gentle back bend. Exhale, hooking left elbow to right knee. Maybe you open your arms. Inhale to hold. Exhale, unwind, coming back to center. Inhale, planting those hands on the ground, stepping back. Exhale to hold. Inhale, sending your heart forward, lowering down, untuck, release. Next, inhale, pressing up. Exhale, moving through tabletop or plank, sending those hips back up, downward facing dog. Well done. One more side. Take a deep cleansing breath. Sigh it out. One more like that. Deep inhale. And just release. Inhale, lifting our left heel to the sky. Exhale, sending it between our hands. Inhale to stabilize. Perhaps we support ourselves as we rise and back bend. Exhale to twist by the lower belly button area. We only have one belly button. Hooking the right elbow to our left knee, maybe opening. Inhale to breathe. Exhale to settle here. Whew. Not today. Next, inhale, unwind. Come on back to center. Exhale, planting the palms, stepping your foot back. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower down. Untuck your feet. Inhale to press up to whatever version you like, yogi's choice. Exhale, melt back down to the floor, resting either cheek on the ground. Take a well-deserved rest. Perhaps you want to lay the other cheek on the ground just for some symmetry. It's not really our cheek on the ground, it's more like our ear. Excellent. And gently move on back to our tabletop position. I think we're going to get another lawnmower blast, so if you can't hear me, I apologize. All right. So now you might have noticed that we are moving in a particular flow. Things repeat, things repeat. We're going to move into another sequence. And just see if you notice, hey, I've done this before. Can I shift my attention from my body and the form I am physically making and shift a little more inward? Where does your mind, where does your spirit, where does your energy go? All right, we're going to step our hands back. You know what's next, tucking those toes, sending those hips up, taking a deep breath in this downward dog. And release. Inhale. And release. We're going to step or jump our feet forward. So looking forward, if you'd like to jump, give yourself a big frog jump. Get those knees high. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release, forward fold. Inhale, reaching those arms out, out, up, up, up. Palms come to meet. And sending them past your heart. Tadasana, mountain pose. Here is a perfect opportunity to check into our grounding. Maybe we want to lift our toes off the ground. Notice that changes maybe how we stabilize in our legs. Can we turn out our legs a little bit without turning the feet out? So almost like a little turn outward at the hips to really engage that outer side of the legs. Maybe our shoulders go out and back as well, like you're squeezing a paintbrush between your shoulder blades. And then spreading those feet, those toes gently on the ground. Either hips with distance apart or together, wherever you feel. All right, my friends. I'm gonna face you. I'll probably just alternate. We're gonna go into our Utkatasana, our chair pose, our intense pose. You're gonna inhale, bending your knees like you're like a skier, slow motion in the air. Arms come up, heart stays lifted, knees not going past your toes. Let's see, maybe it actually is better if I'm sideways. Good, inhale here. And exhale, sending those hips back, those arms come past your sides. Maybe they stop here. Some people, this is actually more comfortable. Energizing out through your fingertips, sitting on a chair that maybe is just a little too tall, and keeping that natural curve in the lower spine. You don't have to tuck it in. You're really reaching from both ends here. Fingertips out, tailbone out. Take a deep breath. And settle. You can do it, you can do it. Take a deep breath. And settle. We can all do more than we think. One final breath here. You've made it. And exhale, just send it forward. Good, relax your neck. Well done. A little counter stretch here. We're gonna bend our knees using our first three fingers, thumb, index, and middle finger, peace fingers. We're gonna hold on to our big toes, keeping a nice bend in our knees. By keeping bending in our knees, we lean into our muscles. We learn to rely on the muscles, strengthening them, rather than just the bones that hold us up. So keeping a nice bend. Trying to send your chest as close to your knees as feels comfortable and isn't impeding your breathing. Relaxing your head. Just play around with bending and adding more stretch. Moving slowly. Getting a nice stretch up the back of the legs. Keeping your neck relaxed. Moving in a rhythm that feels good for you. I'm a big fan of the dynamic stretch, the stretches that move. So if you notice, I'm doing these little like mini squats. I just feel like it wakes up my muscles. Even in a state of stretching, we don't want them to kind of fall asleep because then we can injure ourselves. Excellent, and release. Very carefully bend your knees and roll up one vertebrae at a time. You don't want to lose our balance since we were just upside down. Eee, wonderful. Take a deep breath up here. Maybe even shake it out a little bit. One more round, Utkatasana. You know where we're going. If you want to change it up, you can try bringing your feet together. There's, different strokes for different folks. Inhale, sending our skier position. Arms back, hips back, heart up. Exhale, reaching those arms past our legs. Sending them forward wherever they are more comfortable reaching. Just peeking down, have your knees gone past your toes. If so, send the weight more into your heels. Lift your gaze to look past your fingertips beyond, 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 beyond. Take a deep breath here. Release to settle. Can we sit even further on that chair, sending the hips back? One more breath, deepest breath in this pose. Exhale, sending it forward. Oh, very nice. And it's time for our stretch. We're gonna send our palm like a pancake underneath our feet. This may require some deep, deep bending. So for toes to meet the wrist crease, please don't start like a wooden soldier unless you're super bendy. Relax your head, keep your knees bent, and just breathe here. You can work on slightly straightening your legs just to get that stretch. We're here to restore and recover, not to push ourselves over that edge. So be gentle. And release one palm, the other, and very carefully rolling up one vertebrae at a time. That always gets my like glutes. I'm like, oh, my butt. Good. And shake it out. Just to kind of bring us back, we're going to do my favorite pose. We're going to move into tree pose. So pick your favorite leg. I'm going to direct it with left leg down first, right leg lifts. Just as we grounded in Tadasana, we're going to ground that left foot to start our stability strong from the foundation. Grounding through all four corners of the feet. So little corners on the sides of your heels, big toe mound, pinky toe mound, rooting in. Draping those toes like a web. Keeping a micro bend in that knee. Again, we're working on our muscles, not our bones are our bones, you know. We don't need to just like tone our bones. Keep a nice micro bend to protect the bones. You can either keep your right leg as a little kickstand, it can come to your ankle, or it can come to either above your knee or below your knee. You can even use your hand as a little guide. And I've learned this when I had to learn to teach gymnastics to little kids, which was not my skill set. The more you bend your knee, the closer you get to the ground, the more stable you become. Still may fall, but if you're wobbling, try bending your knee more, restabilizing and coming back. So finding yourselves into your tree, wherever that is. You're gonna take a couple moments in silence, finding whatever branches of your arms feel good for you. Dropping back into the breath, like the wind between the branches. Yes, your foot is pressing into your leg, but your leg is also pressing into your foot, creating a perfect harmony. Maybe your branches are blowing in the wind. Need more wind, it's so humid. Inhale to send those branches up and back towards your heart if they're not already there. And as deliberately as you can, like it's part of the flow, letting that foot down and shaking out your feet. You can shake out your hands too. Lovely trees, we're making such a good forest. All right, we're gonna ground through that right foot and play around where you'd like the left foot to be. The knee is turned out for this exercise, but it doesn't matter how high or low it goes. Connecting, yes, your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot, really lifting from that point of connection. Shoulders down and back, helping with that stability, sending your branches wherever they'd like to go today. Gentle micro bend in that knee. My hands are in a prayer pose behind my back, just for fun. Take one more cleansing breath, like it's the wind going through the leaves of the trees. On your exhale, release those branches. And as deliberately as you can, releasing the leg and shaking it out when you come to the ground. Excellent. Now we're going to move through that again, a little faster, but now we know what our foundation is and where we're going. So inhale to ground through the left leg, begin to lift the right. Exhale, sending your branches wherever they go. Maybe your eyes even close. Inhale, sending that right knee back towards the wall behind you. Exhale, the branches come down, and you carefully release the right leg. Grounding through the right foot on the ground. Inhale, lifting the left knee. Exhale, sending the branches where they'd like to go. Inhale, left knee pulls towards the back wall very slightly. And exhale, branches come down, and the leg carefully comes down. Give yourself a little shake. Beautiful. Now we're going to go to one more balance. We've done this once in my classes on Zoom. We're going to go into the dancer pose. If you know where we're going, excellent. But it can be a little, it's a big balance one. So let's just set up properly. So we're going to ground through that left foot, potential micro bend in that left knee. Hand comes up to the side like you're going to receive a high five. And your right knee bends. You're going to turn your palm and hold on to that, the outer edge of the right leg. Excellent. You can keep your grip here, or you have the option of keeping this grip palm up and reaching the inside of the leg. It's whatever you feel more comfortable with. As long as your knee isn't like twisting in and out, you're good. Inhaling your left arm up, and just find some stability here. Notice how your back foot is pressing into your hand, but your hand is also pressing into that back foot. Everything moves with the same energy in the same direction. So as your leg is pressing into your hand pressing into your foot, your leg starts lifting, but not as if through water. Using the space of resistance to carefully lift that leg, gazing past the front fingers. Take a breath. Oh, there we go. Keep holding, keep holding. If you can. If you fall, reset. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and carefully let it go, shake it out. We're trying to keep the flow even when we release, because it's all part of it, even the releases, even the setup. Inhale, grounding through the right foot. Left hand receives a high five. Turn that wrist. You can grab a hold, the outside of the left foot. Good. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, left foot pushes into left hand pushes into right foot. You have an option on your grip here. If you'd like to turn your left grip to reach the inside side of your foot, go for it. Ooh. Keep lifting from your core. I'm going down. We'll just do a lovely little ballet thing and carefully begin to lower your leg. Good. Whew. Excellent. So just to clear up, we're going to do that one more time just so we have a chance. Yeah, we tried it. Now we're going to really do it. So again, with the grip, your right hand can either reach the outside of your leg or it can reach the inside. So play around what feels more stable. I like the inside grip better. All right. Let's try again. Rooting through the left leg. Our right hand comes down to our side. Right knee bends. We grab a hold of either the inside edge of our foot or the right. Inhale, left arm comes up. Find your stability. Build your foundation. When you've connected, begin to lift that back leg. Front arm reaching forward. And carefully lower. By carefully, I just mean with as much grace as we can muster in a very silly pose, in a very silly class. Yoga can be very silly in so many regards. Inhale to ground through the right foot. Left hand comes out. Left leg bends. I'm going to reach for the inside edge of that foot. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale for some stability. Again, bending that knee. I need to practice what I preach. Bending the knee for more stability. And then resisting hand and foot, begin to guide that leg into the air. Heart stays up, breath still flows. One more breath. And carefully, gently, gracefully, slow motion, come on back down, shake it out. All right, so breaking with some of the flow tradition, we're gonna do some breath of joy to bring some life force back in. For breath of joy, 3 inhales and an exhale through your legs. Step them wide. The inhales will go. Inhale, arms together. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, send it all down through your legs. If you have a necklace, tuck it in. I swear I'm gonna lose a tooth this way. We're gonna do 5 rounds in our own breath. And on the exhale, exhale. Let it out, let it go. Ready? Keep a nice bend in your knees. Inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, let it out. Generate some life force. When you finish, you can just hang, you can stand up. Just take a moment with eyes closed to feel what that has done for you. Maybe a little lightheaded, maybe your heart is beating, maybe your breath is a little fuller. Excellent. All right, let us step our hands, our feet, wrist distance apart. It's usually a little further than we think just by eyeballing it. And we're gonna turn our right toes to the right side of the mat. Hands come to hips, keeping your torso tall, and just bending through that right leg. You can do a sort of graceful entrance into a mighty entrance into your warrior pose. Again, keeping that torso tall, gazing over the index finger of the right hand. Inhale to send those shoulders down and back and engaging those thighs towards each other. Feel the power of this pose. Exhale, sending either the forearm to the front leg and reaching your left arm up, or you can even send the forearm down to the ground. Couple breaths here. I'm gonna reverse that warrior. So moving back through warrior two, sending that warrior back. Side stretch. Hand can rest, left hand can rest or support your lower back. Excellent, come on back to warrior 2. Standing that front leg tall. Turning the toes back into middle, hands on hips. Inhale tall. Exhale, sending the tailbone out and back, halfway forward fold. Dropping that nose to point right towards the floor to keep the back of the neck elongated. Inhale to get tall. Exhale to halfway fold. One more, inhale tall. And exhale, halfway fold. Maybe we fold a little more. And we just fold as much as we can, letting our hands rest wherever they may. Maybe we bend one knee and the other, just using this as a restorative dynamic space. Whatever needs to move or hang loose. If headstands or handstands are in your practice and you would like to do them now, just keep in mind I'm obviously not there to support you, so please be safe. Excellent, bending your knees, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. So sort of a modified halfway lift, forward fold sequence. Now we're gonna turn our left foot to the left side of our mat, hands on our hips. And our hips are not squared to the front foot, they're a little more open. Bending that front foot, that front knee, trying not to let the knee go beyond our toes, squeezing those hips towards each other so you really engage the muscles of the legs. And as mightily and dramatically as you can, open, oh no, open into your arms. Sorry, keep going, my thing just got minimized. So now you're in your downward face, your warrior 2. Good. All right. All right. And then, I don't know why I got, well, if anyone's having any issues seeing me, just let me know. My view just shrank. Now we're going to send our forearm to our thigh or down to the ground, reaching our right arm up to the sky. Gaze can be lifted, gaze can be towards the ground, heart always opening, even if it's just in our mind. Coming on up, moving past warrior two, sending it back. Reverse warrior. Right hand can support the lower back. And come on back to warrior two, extending through, straightening that leg, turning both toes to the front. Inhale your arms out. Exhale, left fingers to right toes. Inhale, tall. Exhale, right fingers to left toes. One more each side. Inhale, tall. Exhale, left fingers to right toes. Twist, twist, twist. Inhale, tall. Right fingers to left toes, twisting at the lower spine area. Come on back. Just take a second if you need to shake anything out. We're going to move through that with a more mindful leading with our breath, our warrior two sequence. All right, so we're going to extend our arms, trying to get our ankles as wide as our arms, turning our right toes to the right side, hands on our hips. Inhale, bending that front knee. Exhale, sending those arms out, legs pulling towards each other. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, moving through warrior two, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two, gaze over the front hands. Exhale, windmill those arms to frame the front foot, turning that back leg so it's square, planting the palms, stepping back. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Untuck those toes. Inhale to press up, yogi's choice. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, moving through tabletop or plank, back into our downward facing dog. We're going to step those hands towards our feet and just roll on up. So we're going to take a big step into the middle. You don't need to do all that. We're just going to come back to how we started before. Arms out, wrists as wide as your ankles, ankles as wide as your wrists. Same flow, other side. Inhale, turning the left toes to the left side of the room. Exhale, sinking into that left knee, opening the arms, strong and powerful. Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, move through warrior two into our reverse warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two, gaze strong. Exhale, windmill those arms to frame the front foot, turn the back foot in so it's in line with the other. Sending the left foot back, inhale to plank, shift forward. Exhale to lower down, final chaturanga. And just rest. Good, take a moment's rest here, either cheek on the floor. While you're resting, I'm going to fart around and try to make this bigger. There it is, great. Live theater, people. Anything can go wrong. And reverse whatever cheek or ears on the ground. Feeling into your body and feeling into your mind. Perhaps we close our eyes or just relax our gaze. Where is our mind right now? Where have we gone? Something preoccupying us that we keep returning to? Maybe if we give it center stage for a few moments, you might feel a little bit more heard. So turn towards that thing that may be preoccupying you, if there is any. Just say, I see you, and I'm coming back. Maybe it will let you have a little space while we finish our practice. Maybe if you ask it to please kindly wait outside, maybe it will. Excellent. We're going to gently peel up into our tabletop position. And just sink back into a seated pose that's comfortable for you. We're going to go into our pigeon pose. There's many ways to set up into pigeon. If there's one that suits you better, by all means. Otherwise, we're going to start with our left leg in front, our right leg extended back. So I'm going to set up by simply having my right leg turned in, and just sending my left leg in front, sending my right leg back. No real intention there, just getting it behind. Good. And here I'm going to use my hands to kind of get my hips level. Keeping that heel pretty close to your pelvis. Using your hips and your hands to get the hips right in between the two legs. As you're adjusting, sending your right leg behind, trying to straighten that knee. So you even have to lift up on those fingertips, straighten that right knee behind you, and then settle into the position. All right, I'm going to turn this way just in case anyone wants a view. So we're not leaning on just the left hip. We're actually centering on both, using your fingertips to get tall and then settle where it feels okay. If you're having any pressure, putting a pillow under that knee area of the back leg or simply underneath the pelvis of the body, it creates a lot of space and makes the position much more accessible, especially if you're tight. Inhale to get tall, heart open. Exhale, option to begin to send your arms forward as far as you like. Otherwise, option to just simply stay in your upright pigeon. Let's spend a couple rounds of breath here. Notice with every exhale, if you can release where you're holding tension. Inhale, identify the tension, and exhale, release the tension, or begin to chip away at that tension with every exhale. Contrary to popular belief, your shin does not have to be in a right angle. Pull that heel in. There is no need to put extra stress on our hips and our pelvis. Not great. Can we breathe length into our backs? And very carefully walk your way up. The option to bend your back foot up, and if you'd like to take your right hand to hold onto the back foot toes, feel free to just play around pulling the foot closer towards your body, just nothing that feels too tense. This is all just gentle pull, more like a guiding. You don't want to put too much pressure. Excellent, then we're going to reverse it. So sending the right foot in front, boop, or left foot back. Get those feet in their general setup, using your hands, fingertips to prop those hips up, to square them in between both legs, and then straightening the back foot, turning the top of the foot down, or you can curl the toes. Pulling in the front heel as much as you need. Inhale to get tall. Exhale, you can melt here. You can add a pillow. I like a pillow more on the other side for some reason. It's the way I am, I guess. Just inhale to identify where you may be holding tension. And exhale, just using your resources to release. Let the rest of your body support you as well. We inhale length through the spine, from the back toes, all the way up your leg, up your lower back, even higher past your shoulders, through your neck, and out the crown of your head. We keep that energy long. And then carefully walking yourself up. I'm just going to turn this way. If you'd like to get that little counter stretch, left hand reaches for left toes, kind of like in the dancer pose, and just guiding that foot very slowly towards you. You might even want to lift your hips for this. You're not trying to force it. You're not trying to pull any muscles here. And relax. All right, send those legs out front. Give them a little shake. We're going to move through that one more time. See if we can sink into the position faster and see where we go when our body is taken care of. So sending that left leg front, right leg back. Using our fingers to prop up, sending those hips in between the legs, and then settling either on a cushion or on the floor. Inhale to get tall. Exhale to send it forward. Perhaps we close our eyes. And carefully using your hands, rolling back up. Sending the back leg to the front leg to the back. Using your hands, propping up as we extend the left leg long. And settling in and folding forward if that's in our practice today. Closing your eyes to signal a turning inwards. Back toe can be tucked or long. And then using your hands to carefully send you back up. Sending those legs forward. Give them a shake. Making two little fists with our hands. Just gently bend our right leg and begin to gently punch our muscles. Oh, how therapeutic. Giving them a little massage with your knuckles. Try not to hit the bone. It's not a nice sensation. Sending it up your thigh, the hamstring behind. Maybe even lean onto the left so you can get your glutes. Good, and then sending it back. Massaging down. Good, and then using your fingers, if you're okay with it, begin to massage your feet. I think it's great. Your feet do a lot of work for you. Don't forget your heel. And just see, hey, that actually feels pretty good. I would love it if some person in my life would do this to me. So you can really tell them when you want a foot massage what feels right. All right, and then same thing on our left. Begin to bend that knee, little fist, and gently going back and forth on the muscle. I have had a lot of conversations in yoga teacher training, and keep sending it up your leg and up your glute, just about how therapeutic massage is in self-massage. When your muscles spend most of their time tensing and relaxing, the end product is probably going to be a pretty tight, tough muscle, which we want for stability, for strength. But how do we stretch it back out? How do we increase flexibility? Keep sending it down and massage your feet. How do we take that tough muscle that works so hard and bring back some stretchiness, some buoyancy, so we can reduce injuries in the future? And they say massage is wonderful for really getting in there, getting past that fascia, that connective tissue, and encouraging a loosening, almost like an inhale, if you want to think of your muscles as taking breaths. That moment when you emerge from underwater and you take that breath and everything grows and expands. We want to extend that kind of same energy to our muscles, and self-massage is a really gentle way to do it. And you are in charge of what feels good and what doesn't feel good. All right, my friends, I'm going to lower the legs a little, so I'm just a little specter glowing here. We're going to roll onto our backs, having your pillows handy if that's part of your practice for getting cozy. Let's just give our knees a hug. Maybe we reach our shins, maybe we reach under our shins. Give yourself a hug, a loving embrace from you to you. Telling your body, telling your heart that you love it, that you need it, and that you are all together in this. Maybe you rock side to side. Excellent. Maybe your eyes start closing now. You're going to keep that right leg tucked in. You're going to extend that left leg to the floor, keeping your foot flexed. Your arms are going to carefully reach out to your sides, either in like airplane arms or cactus arms. And you're just going to gently drop that knee over to the left side in a twist. Your nose can point over to the right side if that's comfortable. You can even put a pillow underneath that right knee as more support. Just feel into this twist. Let it wring you out. Any extra sweat or any extra energy you're trying to shed today, just let this wring you out. And then your next inhale, carefully come back to center and hugging both legs back in, a loving embrace from you to you. And exhale, sending that right leg down to the ground, long in front of you, flex foot. Arms come out like airplanes or goalposts. And your bent knee will drop carefully to the right side. Maybe your nose points to the left. A pillow is always handy to support that knee. Just take a breath, let your body, let your spirit kind of ring out. And in doing so, it can restore to its sort of baseline status. Everything comes back to reset. You cleared the cache. You deleted your spam box. You're fresh, you have space, and you've gotten rid of what you don't need. Inhale to send that knee back up in one final embrace, hugging those knees back in. Maybe you even lift your head to tuck yourself into this little egg. And then exhale as slowly as you can, laying back onto the ground. Arms fall by your sides, legs extended, feet droop either side. Eyes are closed, and we find ourselves in Shavasana, the corpse pose. Not only honor yourself with your stillness, but you honor each other with your stillness. Here, there is no more doing. It's just your default status, your heart beats, your lungs and diaphragm breathe. And maybe at last, we see our minds for how they are in this moment. And in seeing ourselves here, maybe we can settle more, settle our thoughts. It's going to be okay. Settle our body, settle our tightness in our shoulders, the tightness in our forehead, the tightness we keep with us simply by having thoughts. I'm going to let you just breathe and settle the next few moments without me. And then I'll speak again to energize us up to greet the rest of the day. As we wind down this practice, bringing your mind back to that intention you set, that dedication for either yourself or something beyond yourself, or someone outside of yourself. For whoever or whatever that is, send some love. Send the heart emoji, just so they know that you see them, and that you care, and that this practice was for them and for you. Let's take a deep breath for all of us together. And exhale, release it all into the space surrounding us. The smallest and gentlest gestures begin to bring some mobility into your fingers and your toes, waking up gradually. Sending your arms overhead, stretch your longest position of practice. And exhale, rolling over onto your favorite side, knees tucked in. Take a final rest here. And as we do every day, before every challenge, for every task and every routine, let's press ourselves up into an alert position. Hands can come to the tops of our legs. Just take a breath to acknowledge what we've done together. And release. Hands come to prayer before you. Take a deep breath to get tall. And exhale, gentle bow. Eyes can stay closed or they can flicker open. Thank you so much for joining us for our Saturday flow. I offer namaste if that's something that helps you feel regenerated after a yoga class. Those of you who are protesting, I send my dedication and love to you. To those of you who are protesting in your own ways, in your own lanes, as they call it, thank you for doing this work. If you are able to donate, again, this is Us Against the Law. Our donations are going to today. The class is always free. I'm just glad you're here. And I look forward to seeing you at all of our next practices. Stay safe. I'll be thinking of all of you, and be well. Goodbye, everyone.